Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Onward VR Master League Season 6, Week 5. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. I am here with Sleepy with 2 3's. How you doing, bud? Very welcome. We've honed it in. We've honed in the intro. You know? What we got today is an exciting one. It is Beginners versus Silent Purge. The reigning champs. They have a lot to hold on to these days. Not just a normal team anymore. Rest of eternity, at least until we have hopefully another championship battle like that one. I don't think Onward's going anywhere but up, so we'll hopefully see that in the future. But either way, yes, they are the defending champs, and they are. This is the first game they have played since being at OC5, at least the first league match they have played, I believe. I think they took they were traveling OC5 and they didn't play either week there, and I think they had like a bye or something. There's buys between, so I don't think they've played a league match since. So Silent Purge sort of testing the waters, I guess. We'll see how they do back at home, but we'll be hopping into the pick bands of the day. Taking a look at it, we have, I believe, from Silent Purge. They have banned, what is it, Tanker? No, yeah, Silent Purge have banned Tanker, and Beginners have banned Quarantine 1, or the other way around? Very good, very good. I think we are going to be hopping into the round shortly. We'll quickly dish over the roster of Silent Purge. You have Buxton, J772, Stragic, Dom Patron, Kev, RPSPT, and UC Death. Are there some new names in there? Okay. Maybe I just never read the 772 at the end of J. Okay. Okay. Oh, hold on. We have some technical issues coming in. I don't think your audio has been coming in. Hold on, folks. We will solve these issues shortly. Yeah, I guess I've just been talking to myself this whole time. It's been a great conversation that's been happening. One second, folks. Do apologize. But the lobby should be up. Is it up right now as we speak? All right. Not always sunshine and rainbows here around these parts, you know. Sometimes get a little hiccup.
A little hiccups every now and then.
But I think I should now have my co-caster, who I introduced. But okay, now.
But nobody heard.
There he is. He's back. Sleepy's back, everybody. I've brought him on board.
Heyo.
Anywho, our bans. Let's go over those one more time, Sleepy.
Yeah, so out of Silent Purge camp, they have banned Quarantine 1. Probably a smart move. Beginner's very strong on this map. And then from the Beginners camp, we have banned Tanker. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Tanker.
Kind of surprised to see that one get banned, considering it's not really a threat pick. Like, nobody's worried about people picking tanker these days, except for maybe a team like Blaze. I don't know. Do you think they're worried that Silent Purge would practice tanker?
It's very possible, or maybe it's just something, you know, that Silent Purge is known for in the EU. Again, I don't know. I'm so noobish to casting and information on the EU that I just don't know. You know, like Silent Purge, maybe that's their bread and butter is tanker, and I mean their logo is a dark background and a stealthy little soldier. So maybe that's a hint there. Love with tanker.
It is very true. They may have given away their secret sauce, so to speak, with that one. Yeah. But we are going to start this one off on Suburbia.
Yes, and though we may be used to seeing an aggressive bout from those of our U.S. teams here on this, we're not probably going to see that here today. Now,
very true. They tend to play these. The beginners are known for playing things a bit slower paced. Although I do think that, I mean, obviously that pace worked out fairly well for them. I mean, perfectly in OC5. They took on Globochem, who's a team that you just cannot beat easily. And I mean, they were looking good the whole tournament. You know, they were a force to be reckoned with. Really, a lot of good team play. Like, I just don't. Silent Purge, they're really gonna have to prove to put. This is a game that where Silent Purge, if they can win a map or two, I think it would be really proving something.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Silent Purge, you know, they claim on their bio there on the Onward Master League site that they play a Globo Ginner style play style. So they play it a little like Globo and a little like beginners, but with a little work on the Globo side. So they're probably going to play it a bit faster than beginners, but we'll definitely see more methodical play, and possibly a lot of coordinated strikes coming in like you'll see from beginners. Maybe though they won't leave themselves only a minute or so to react at the end when they go in for the play like the beginners tend to.
Very true. Just take a quick look at the rosters here as we hop into this first round. Dr. Killinger, Icy Woods, Cushberries, Woods 43, and Smoils on beginners. On Silent Purge, Buxton, UC Death, RPT, Kev, and Stragic. And we're in it, and we're right into a tank objective. I don't know, this is a tough one to defend.
Yeah, it is. With the right picks and the right path of movement from the attackers, you can get right in on the side of this tank. Nobody can see you. You get that cap in there. Nice smoke covering you up is a good plan as well. But let's see how Silent Purge do against defending the mighty beginners as they attack the tank objective.
They haven't put anyone up into that two-story window, so Smoils and Woods pretty much have this lane free to come down.
Well, you know, it's pretty smart as well. You don't want to lose your defender. A nade coming out from Kev. No effect on his target, but a nice throw overall. I think maybe a little less cook time. That would have worked out well for him.
Oh, no. A bad nade went out. I'm not sure what happened there. He got two, though.
Ooh, a nice frag out from Icy Woods on the lane 1 side or lane 3 side. No effect on anybody, but a nice nade nonetheless had someone been sitting there on the backside of the tank.
Stragic also trying to toss one up and over. It doesn't go far enough. There are frags going everywhere today on this map. We're starting it out hot and heavy.
Beginner's got a nice frontal assault, widespread all the way across the map throughout the center. Looking good. They've got their coordination down. Smoils, of course, taking his lane 1 approach with his heavy LMG. A few suppressive shots, no target, just anticipating someone hiding behind that fence.
Ooh, a little trade happening over on that west side, or east side, sorry. It kind of opens it up. They just have to take out that final member. I think it's UC Death over there defending that back side. Maybe take out Buxton as well, but if Death goes down, it really opens up the potential for this east side to be infiltrated.
Yeah, I agree. If Death goes down, this is going to be tough. Some smokes could come out.
I mean, they were trying to frag him right there. It's just a little bit farther to the right. I guess his left. If you adjusted that slightly, it would have been a nice one right on the Death. I mean, his position's pretty common, too. As soon as they round this corner, as soon as Kush rounds that corner at house, he should be looking at this spot where Death is.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like he's not going to rotate that way, though. He's going to come back around. They're still playing it a little bit safe. I think maybe they're just trying to catch Silent Purge slipping, having him move out. My only concern is for Silent Purge's defense is if UC Death does go down and some clearly good smokes come out, they may be able to get over here on this side of the southern side of the tank street and take that back side of the tank without anyone on Silent Purge knowing what's going on. So
this is getting aggressive. Pushed up to that house, and yeah, they all have their, I mean, typical of the beginner's fashion, right? They're taking all their time. 2.5 minutes left. Just sort of mingling about here, making sure that they toss the proper nades. That's actually a really clever nade to toss into that room. And I mean, look at this planned infiltration for beginners. Nades not quite working. Buxton does find one, a good trade. Looks like Kush is going to toss a smoke or two. Kev coming down hard. He might find two. He hits them both.
Wow, great play there from Kev. The aggression does pay off. Unfortunately, he did leave Killinger alive. Smoil's going to come up to pick up his fallen comrade.
No, RPT's got a nade. He's going to try and jump it down. He doesn't. He throws it upstairs. Now he's charging down towards Smoils. Doesn't confirm Killinger either and goes down. Silent Purge only have Death left. I would say this is a pretty good start for them so far.
Yeah, but you know, I also think that Silent Purge doing really well in this first round. A lot of good trades, 2v1. It's not like we have UC Death here versus 5 members of beginners. So if he plays it just smart, and I don't think this is smart, because as he takes that open position, Smoil starts to peek that corner of the house. Luckily, nobody takes him out, but he's got to play this more conservatively. I think he's playing a little too risque, and it's going to cause him his death.
Will Killinger. I don't think he did. Man, that was close. He was looking. This rotation could be nice. I don't know if they'd be expecting him here.
Yeah, you know, after he got into position, I sort of reconsidered my last statement, but
no, it was incredibly risky for him to be doing that. Typically, you want to sit behind tank, utilize just that sliver of vision. Killinger here, he's not going to be looking into this corner. He rounds it. UC Death finds one. Can he get Smoils? Perhaps all sorts of lag going on here. Smoils does pick up Death, and beginners take the round.
Overall, a great round from Silent Purge. I think they're showing us today that they are not going to go down that easy. That we could be looking at a heck of a game here today.
Yeah, that was not quite what I was expecting. Maybe beginners warming up, so to speak, but they did take a Marsoc round, so it's not exactly easy to do on Suburbia. We'll see if Silent Purge can sort of answer back similarly. But a strong defense. Kills spread across the board. A couple of revives coming out. I mean, Silent Purge definitely putting up a fight there.
Yeah, absolutely. They did a great job on that objective, I think. That's one of the tougher ones here in Suburbia to defend, especially on a team like beginners where they're going to be looking for those picks and those methodical movements. So kudos to them for that good defense. I think Buxton actually would have lived in that trade versus, I forget who that was. I think it was Dr. Killinger maybe that he traded with. Or no, it was Cushberries. But because that early round frag that Kev had that took out him and Buxton, they both unfortunately got no second chances when it came to later in the game, and Buxton's trade became one-sided at that point.
Either way, beginners probably utilizing this time here to sort of regroup as they go on the defensive against the Silent Purge team. See what they can put up. Mirrored objectives, obviously, in competitive lobbies, so we're going to go back to that tank spawn, and again, one that is capable with the proper smokes, the proper picks. A little lack, you know, one wrong move on defense can cost you a lot here, so.
It's very true, and we have seen Mighty fall on this map. I mean, I remember Phoenix SMC from Season 5, where Malcriado, where they just dumped smokes on the tank. Malcriado was able to get up real close on that objective, and right on the other side of Sickness right on the other side of the tank, and was able to get that cap off on them. So, you know, it's definitely possible for anyone to win Suburbia. I think it's one of those maps that, because it's one of the older maps in our rotation, it's something that every team has strats for, every player knows well. You know, it's kind of a free-for-all when it comes to this map, in my opinion.
Maybe that's why it was picked as well, to sort of even the odds against beginners. But it was beginners map choice? No, it was Silent Purge map choice. No, beginners started on Mars. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, unless they gave that up in order to give Silent Purge the map pick.
No, they were.
But I doubt that.
They were home. So an interesting choice there, kind of risky. Buxton there trying to get that second frag out, doesn't cook it quite enough, and Killinger has had frags blow up on both sides of him.
Killinger has got a rabbit's foot in his pocket. That one not far enough. They just can't seem to find the right combination. And they've now wasted 3 frags out of their utility on the lanes 3 and 4 eastern part of the map.
Yeah, they really want him down here. And I like this prone move out of him to look through the bushes. I think that's not really a common strategy. I don't know if Kev or Buxton will be really looking that low for that.
No, yeah, usually you're checking the top of those sandbags and looking at that kind of area. Buxton may be in a firefight here with Killinger. I'm not sure if Killinger heard or saw the move.
Oh.
Buxton pre-firing.
This is ridiculous. They have to know he's there. Here comes the nade.
Killinger knows he's there because here comes the nade. Oh, but deflects off the tree and it still works. He gets Buxton.
Another one coming from downtown towards the park. Doesn't find Kev. Real close, though. Killinger picks off 1. He is doing work here. Silent Purge. Wow, the flank from Strategic does catch him out. Now the res possible for Buxton. Actually, no, he got confirmed with that follow-up nade.
Where was Strategic?
He flanked. He almost wrapped around the whole side of APC.
Oh, I see. He's over here where Smoils was.
Yeah.
Okay, I see his mark on the map now. I was like, wait, where did that come from?
Yep.
We're over here watching this grenade tossing battle, and meanwhile, Strajak's like, you know what? I'm just going to sneak in under the casters and everybody's nose and get a pick.
That'll happen from time to time. We'll have someone sort of maneuver around like that. It is a good move, though, and he does get an important person there. I don't think you see Death. Well, I don't know. He's probably assumed. Yeah, now they know he's down. Kev confirmed him there. Getting a little over-aggressive.
Lighting up the area with suppressive fire from that LMG. He's now compromised his position. Previously, you would not have known he was here just due to the simple fact that he is not peeking. Now he's full up and firing on all cylinders.
Lots of smokes out here. I don't know if it's enough to blind Smoil's vision. If they have RPT push up with Kush, though, it could be well timed, because you see Death's here, he's on tank.
Yeah, and Cushberries is very much paying attention to that street. He's not.
Woods has 2! Or you see Death got 2 here.
Oh, and Cushberries is going to get taken here. And Silent Purge take their first map, and on Marsoc to even the score 1-1.
Wow, really nice job from UC Death and RPT there. Some fantastic moves from UC Death. Grabbing 2 there through the smoke. They definitely weren't expecting him there in that smoke, and RPT just picking off that last member. I mean, wow, Silent Purge staying in at 1-1. This is a series here.
It is, and I'm now excited, very much so, in order to see what's going to come in the future of this match. This matchup looking to be a good one.
Gotta get the hands loose, because the camera action is gonna be hot and frequent. Gotta be on those keys, man. You gotta be quick on those keys.
Quick on the keys, man. Quick on the keys. Next cast, I'm hiring Ray Charles, because he's so quick on those keys to run my cast for me.
Doesn't he do more of like a improv style of jazz, though?
Well, I mean, no, he had some recorded classics and played some, you know, obviously there is always a little bit of improvisation in jazz music, but he took gospel music and made it dirty and sexy.
All right.
Hey, there's always time for a little culture in the VRML. Okay?
We are a very diverse group, I will give you that. We have members across the world playing against each other. It's pretty fun. It's always cool when you meet up and you get to sort of realize that half the people you've played with have never been to your country. You know, and you get to introduce them to new things. I think a lot of people were kind of culture shocked with America and all the food styles, and it was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, meeting some of these folks for the first time, I remember the first time I met Smoils, and I'm like, that guy is exactly how I pictured him through his personality on Discord. You know, like, he met my expectations and then some.
He really is a living meme.
He is. He is the great cat daddy.
Actually sending out some early suppressive fire, some cheesy fire, as some call it, because you can kind of catch some people out of spawn almost there. And look at how fast beginners are moving here. 4-man rush, I'd say, up this west side.
Well, I think they're just going to use it to gain that real estate at first, but I don't think that they're going to just rush in. I think from here, they're going to slow it down, they're going to stop, try and get the picks that they can, maybe get some frags out, and then go from there once they know, you know, a little bit more about the situational defense of Silent Purge.
I think this is probably beginners also stepping up their game a little bit, looking a tad more organized and on point this round. After tying things up 1-1, I think they kind of want it a little bit more. So we'll see if Silent Purge can answer back. They equally have a nice tight defense. And they've almost sort of given up this side and are waiting for them to cross this street.
And here comes the first smoke. I'm hoping they're going to throw more because that one smoke isn't quite going to do it. Here comes another.
They're going to need at least 3 or 4, and I think they recognize that. And wow, the smoke grenades are raining in.
And here comes a frag, but it's too far. It's not able to get Stray Jack or RPT as they watch the street push. But beginners free and clear. Those beautiful smokes have placed a wall between the defenders and the attackers here. They're going to be able to get 4 men across. Oh no, Stray Jack though finds Icy Woods, gets the confirmation. Gooseberry's ready and waiting. Here comes the frag. Secure everything, and it manages to get Gooseberries.
Oh, another one came in and caught Woods and confirmed Kush. Oh no, that was a Kush's grenade!
That was his grenade, yeah. It's been an epidemic this weekend, NightFiree. We've seen 3 now easily, where a friendly has had a grenade in his hand ready to toss, then gets killed, and the grenade flops to the ground, ends up taking out himself or himself +1, and that's exactly what happened. Fortunately, though, Killinger able to be picked up. Woods able to return the call, taking down RPT. It's now 3 beginners versus 4 members of Silent Purge.
Yeah, you could actually hear there, too. He was yelling at his team to run away from him because he had dropped a grenade.
Mm-hmm. Which was smart. You know, a lot of times you don't hear that, you know.
Ooh, Woods with a nice shot over the shoulder there. Killinger with the call-outs, Woods with the fire. They got to know that the 2 are here. That final member not yet really involved in the action. Woods gets caught trying to rotate.
Killinger a little upset that his push has fallen apart. Smoils, though, still way in the back. He might see Kev here momentarily. Kev taking up a very interesting position on lane 4.
I think he's looking for this. I don't know if Smoils is going to be ready here. He peeks out. The shots are traded. Kev
Smoils gets the win.
Yeah, Kev just couldn't land him. Buxton has information, though. He knows Smoils is there. So the 2v2 is basically Strazek versus Killinger, Smoils versus Buxton with 2 minutes and 40 left.
That's a lot of time in beginner's land, so To them, they're like, you know what? I got all week. I'm just gonna take a train, go grab some tea, come back, and then attack this objective.
Absolutely right. Killinger is getting a little nervous here to kind of peek out, as he should be. I think Strazek probably is just going to hold that angle, waiting for Killinger to rotate around north side.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Killinger popping shots at the enemy that Wood's going to be able to pick out. Straight Jacket, what is he going to do? Is he just going to run out in the middle of the street on him?
Yes.
Oh, it works.
He is going to run out in the middle of the street on him, and he finds that pick. Really aggressive now. Smoyle's trying to find Buxton. Buxton cowering behind that one bit of solid cement.
And Buxton, knowing that Smoyles loves that LMG, has just called him out by name, saying, I've got Smoyles over here by the bus, lane 4.
Wonder if he can catch Strazek out on that rotation across the street. I don't think he spots him.
If I were Strazek, I think I would have pushed north, wrapped around the back sides of the house, and popped out on the lane 4 corner where that little lattice fence is, where you can kind of see through it, maybe. Oof.
Yeah, Smoyles can't believe his luck there as Strazek, super exposed, gets caught out. Buxton should have the information that he's here, and he finds that tight shot between the trees. Silent Purge go up 2-1 against the reigning champs, Beginners.
Wow, this is turning into a hell of a match. Our own casting BBC gravel voice, Mr. Buxton himself, clutching that round for his team. Strazek, though, having a beautiful series so far, 6-3 right now. Only person to really compete with him on either team is Smoyles, who's running 5-2. But man, Silent Purge showing the Beginners just what for right now.
You know, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. So I kind of maybe understand Strazek's mentality on why he pushed. He got a bunch of picks already. He's running 5-2, feeling good. Just gets up in there and out in the middle of the street and finds that 6th kill. I mean, doing some work.
This is welcome to the Onward Master League, everybody.
Where anybody can really be a top team. It's quite impressive to see the Silent Purge putting up such a good fight against Beginners. I'm wondering if Beginners are sort of going to turn a switch at some point. I thought they were doing it that round, but didn't really work out.
No, I think they did, but I just
You're just
think
evenly
that,
matched here?
Yeah, I just think Silent Purge was kind of ready for it. I don't know if that strategy is something that the Beginners typically do, and if something that Silent Purge was already prepped for. But yeah, unfortunately, their offense, their attack definitely crumbled there at about the 3.5 minute mark, and then from there it was just kind of Silent Purge's match to lose. So now let's see how Beginners answer back on this northeast objective. Silent, no words being spoken in the Beginners camp on spawn. Just a smoke coming out hella early.
Yeah, that is really early. I wonder if that's for them to get aggressive on their defense. Maybe they're going to put somebody up into that little shrub area. Maybe it's just sort of a distraction smoke. I don't think that was up from Silent Purge, right? That was a defensive smoke, wasn't it?
That was a defensive smoke, yeah. The Beginners tossed that one out. I believe it was Killinger from the fence line area of the spawn. He tossed that one out before the timer even let go.
I'm curious if it's maybe to, like, I could see it as a bait smoke. You're trying to bait a confident move out of Silent Purge to, like, push and maybe catch the rotation out. Kev almost getting picked there. Strazek not throwing his nade quite far enough. Kush is going to try and answer back.
But also just not going to quite be far enough. Strazek's going to be safe. Cushberry's holding his position here on the western white car.
Moyle's just dumping some suppressive rounds into that general area. Kush is calling out the locations here, so they know Strazek and Kev are over here on that west side. They haven't ID'd the rest of Silent Purge's squad, which have split off into a 3-man group on that east side, or sorry, the west side.
Strazek getting ready to breach the corner. I think he's trying to look through the bushes maybe to see Cushberry's over here, thinking he's at the bus maybe, but that is just not the case. And if he does break that corner, I think Killinger in the northwest corner is going to be ready and able to take that pick.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is a solid defense lineup from them. Jones are rotating now into that corner spot. That is a common location, though. Strayjack should be looking there if he's going to peek out. But he might be so tunnel visioned on Kush's potential location that he could get caught here.
Yeah, I predict that that's what we're seeing. But you never know. He could be also just waiting for Kev to make his push up and give him some backup. Maybe be able to pick the refrag up if he were to go down. But Killinger now moved away, so he's got all the time in the world, Strayjack, if he wants to try and take down Kushberries. He had a flash here, be very useful in blinding Kushberries so he could push out and get the pick. Yeah,
Kev rotated back around. He was interestingly going all the way back to that spot where you can see through the wood at spawn, seeing if he could catch Kushberries at the bus. A clever move, but Kush not pushed up that far. And I think Strayjack now also abandoning this, and he might rotate around. This is not the right move, though, for him. Smoils will definitely pick him off. Oh, he does. He actually just gets lucky with the shots through the wood and catches Strayjack on the rotation.
And flash comes out from Kushberries. That would have been good about 5 minutes ago when Strayjack was sitting there. Unfortunately, of course, Kushberries not being able to see that. He doesn't have X-ray vision like Superman. But I believe we got Kev coming around on the rotation to try and pick Strayjack up. Even things back out a bit. Oh, but unfortunately, no, never mind.
Yeah.
It's like you see death picked off there as I say that.
Buxton is aware of Wood's positioning. He did get suppressed by him. The smokes are really nicely placed on the Woods, though. Buxton has gotten around to this far north side now. A good pickoff there, a worthwhile trade, I think. Buxton finally does get picked up by Woods, though. Really nicely done. He was waiting for that.
Yeah, the brothers covering themselves very well. Woods 43 goes down. I see Woods gets the refrag on Buxton as he tries to come in to confirm. That brotherly love definitely coming to effect here on beginners.
I wonder if Kev heard Icy Woods' comms. Either way, Smoils should be keen on this position. It might be a tough res for Kev. He's gonna have to be quick. Yep, Smoils didn't spot it. A 2v4, but again, this side is not gonna be easy. Kush is still at his defensive position at White Car.
What's interesting to me is none of the beginners have moved around to try and res Woods 43. Smoils could totally use this time while the attackers are distracted to come around and get the res, but it's not going to do it. Kushberry is going to pick up Strayjack over there on lane 4. Kev, meanwhile, now by himself pushing lane 2 in order to see if he can't maybe get Icy Woods off that front porch.
Very surprised you didn't sing it. I was expecting a good tune out of you. Either way, I think this is the right move from Kev. If he finds Woods, he's in a good spot. Now he has to deal with Smoils. You can't pick him off.
Yeah, unfortunately, that porch too exposed.
Yeah.
Kev is just going to bite the dust.
Ties it up, though. Beginners not letting Silent Purge run away with this one by any means.
Not at all.
Smoil is really ramping up his game here. 7-2 so far. The meme master has really proven that he's also quite a good shot.
Yes, and with an LMG, not the easiest thing in the world to control and to master. I'd say there's very few people, I can name 3 off the top of my head, that are just class A shots with the LMG. One is Smoils, the other Captain Soda from SMC, and the third one would be Riboman from Danglers. All 3 of those just absolutely dangerous with an LMG in their hands.
It really is a developed skill, I think, to be good at the LMG. People sit around. I mean, I think it's also a preference thing. You know, some people just like that style of shooting. They like how the gun reacts. You know. Others like that submachine gun feel. They like a bit of a almost a light. It's not lighter, but it almost feels lighter because it's just a little smaller, a little more compact, easier to bring up to aim.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to call it a purse gun, but...
We do have this middle objective, though, to kind of kick off the tie ball game we have here. One that is susceptible to potential caps, but also usually susceptible to chaos. Since you have to stack this house a little bit full of guys to make sure that nobody gets in there and caps. RPT, Strategic going to take up positions. Kev also.
Well, if we see a defense from beginners attacking, but if in the next round we see a defense like the beginners took in OC5, which very much confused me at the time, we'll probably see a 4-man sausage party in the center house.
I do think they have improvised their defensive strategy. They are sort of going more with a outside of defense, which I think is more meta these days, something a little bit more safe. You look through windows, you have a bit more cover from that initial push into the house. You can react a little bit better to some moves. You are vulnerable to grenades, as Kevin Buxton could get taken out with one nicely placed nade.
Yeah, that is very true. Killinger and Woods 43 both looking through the bushes, trying to see if they can spot Kev's position. Kev, though, being very smart, very cautious about peeking his head, because he knows if he does, he's just going to get it blown off. But beginners pretty much doing their meta push here on Suburbia. They got the 2-2-1 split between the 4 lanes. They've got a nice broad stretch across the map. They can cover each other as well as refrag. So, oh, maybe I think Killinger maybe saw Kev's head there. Kev tucking it back down now. And Smoil's smoke going to be rendered ineffective by the tall blue house in lane 1.
No frags coming out yet from beginners. I think they're probably preserving their utility to enter into that house, since they're going to need it there the most. Lots of frags I'm anticipating are going to be coming up into that 2-story.
And I see Woods over here is doing what he did exactly in OC5 against Globochem. He's laid prone, he's looking for the shots, he's going to look for that man on the burning porch. Unfortunately, he's not going to see one today.
You see Death in a bit more of a defensive position. Vulnerable.
But he will get Buxton.
Very nice. Kev doesn't peek out and find it in time. It's going to be up to UC Death to sort of deal with this Woods push here. Smoil's getting danger close to Kev here. I think those footsteps can be heard by Kev. Yeah, Kev has to have heard these steps here on the other side. He's not shooting through the bushes, though.
I don't... Is he too worried about getting picked up on the refrag? Because, I mean, that's just a common sense thing right there. Okay, Kev, you got to have heard that. You got to take your shot, man.
Wow, I'm really shocked that he's not reacting here. The entry is coming in. Woods, Cush, and Killinger have made it inside. This is what Kev was waiting for. He didn't want to get that pick. He wanted to grab 2. The back end. Jeez Louise. Smoils finds one in the back, but Straczak finally peeking out the window. Beginners going down quick and hard. Kev with a really nice triple. And Silent Purge are up 3-1.
And now all we have is Icy Woods all by himself. There you go. That was your song, NightFiree.
Thank you for delivering, sir. That's information for Silent Purge. They now know Icy Woods is kind of over in this tank area. Two minutes left, and he's going to make that long rotation around house. Maybe try and find some 2-story shots from here. But he smoked it.
Yeah, he's got a good position to be able to get a couple of picks, maybe even all of the picks from across the street here. But yeah, he did smoke himself out, which doesn't lend much to him in order to be able to pick those up. So now he's going to utilize some hard angles through the windows on the side of the house here, looking for RPT, looking for Straczak. But is he aware of Kev?
Yeah.
Kev could be picking up his 4th here in this round with Icy Woods.
He was really dialing in there on that corner, just not quite peeking enough.
Icy Woods now going to use the elevation of the 2nd floor of the Volk spawn house to see a man about a donkey.
He doesn't have time for this. 1:15 left. Even if he gets a pick, he's going to have a long rotation to get over to objective.
I think the smart play in this sort of situation, you've got 1 minute left, you're still a ways away from the objective, is not necessarily going to be to rush the objective. I'd say I'd be trying to look for those peaks, but then again, looking at the way the defenders are sitting in the center house, they're not showing you anything. So yeah, you're going to have to get in there and get your hands dirty.
Boys is going to get up here and cannibalize this kid a little bit. Maybe be able to toss a flash up into that room. It would be real nice if he gets him. That's going to be a nice flash on RPT. He's blind.
Blind firing. Oh, but the flash wears off, I think, and Icy Woods gets picked. Silent Purge take their 3rd round, and it's now 3-2.
Very nicely done on Silent Purge's behalf. They are now, I mean, Strazak stepping up, still 7-4. Grabs another kill that round. Smoils also still dominating 8-3. I mean, these guys are really putting on a show, but Silent Purge having a little bit more spread across their squad.
Yeah, I think Silent Purge is showing a little bit more coordination than even the great and defending reigning champs of the beginners right now, because their kills are all spread. I mean, Kev there though, an amazing triple coming out from him.
Yeah.
That was just, I mean, and he just made me eat my shoe about why he didn't shoot Smoils when he had the opportunity to, and it was a good thing he didn't.
I think also, I don't know if you noticed that at the tail end there, even after that flash came up, as soon as he heard that, Kev was coming up the stairs behind him for the refrag, so he was going to try and do some more work there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was ready to get his hands dirty that round. And RPT though did a great job of, even though being blinded by that flash, he knew approximately where that corner was that Icy Woods had tucked himself into, and blind fired it. I mean, if anything, he stopped him from pushing directly up onto him and quite possibly getting a cap. I mean, that could have been a cap there, depending on the speed at which the capper capped. How much cap would a capper cap if a capper could cap caps, right?
That's a tongue twister for you.
Yeah, it almost didn't come out. And yes, we are going to see the infamous OC5 beginners 4-man center house defense. Oh,
Make that 5.
All 5. You know what? Let's just do all 5. They said, you know what? We're going to one-up OC5. We're going to add another man in the house. Smoils, though, he's going to sit on the front porch, drawing up some memes, waiting for the Silent Purge attackers to get themselves there.
This objective really is sort of ridiculous. You want to talk about Subway and its 2 entry points being tough to deal with against competitive teams. This one only has 1.
Yes, however, unlike Subway, this one, with the proper use of utility, can be done.
Very true.
Subway, even if you make it down the stairs alive, you still have to come through both of those sets of turnstiles on the north and south side. And that is another spot where the defenders can just sit there and wait for you to come. Whereas here, with the right use of utility, you could take down an entire... I mean, you could take down all 5 of these people with the right use of utility here, so...
Yeah, and I guess we can kind of touch on that fact that a nice content update should be coming some point this month. Looking forward to that Subway revamp. We should be able to hopefully see more competitive lobbies in that later this month and going onward into the league, because I think it'd be fun. See that kind of, see something fresh get introduced into the league again. I think there are some new maps that have been put out, but teams just aren't really fan of them competitively wise, so Subway getting reintroduced with a fresh twist on it could be fun.
Yeah, I mean, the map definitely has great potential, but those 2 choke points where everything is just narrowed down, you only have 1 of 2 options to take, and the defenders know this. It just doesn't make for... Typically, it doesn't make for great casting, though we have seen some really awesome rounds on Subway. But also, it doesn't lend itself to attacking as well. And I'm not quite sure what Dr. Killinger has done here in this corner. He is in some very odd pose. I'm thinking maybe he went AFK for a moment. or AFHMD, however you'd like to say it.
Yeah, he's totally bugged out. He just got teleported outside. Killinger worked his voodoo magic.
Did he just pop himself out of the house?
Yes. I thought he got a kill. What the heck just happened right there? I don't even think Killinger knew what was going on.
If I could please have someone in the chat, please clip that for us so that we have that available.
Guys, Killinger is a Onward wizard confirmed.
Onward wizard confirmed. The Russian wizard, Dr. Killinger himself.
I'm sure it was probably just it had to have just been a spectating bug, and like he was probably rotating, and we just didn't, you know, while he was rotating, it just wasn't catching it, and then he rotated down there.
It could very well be. Both of these teams are, of course, in Europe. NightFiree and myself, all the way on the west coast of the U.S. So we could be seeing some ping and
tomfoolery, as the kids say.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that frag!
Oh, RPT does find one through the window. Killinger doesn't peek up to get that answer back. He could easily kill RPT here.
Takes down spoils. Oh, RPT and Killinger right next to each other. Killinger not taking the shots. I'm not sure what's going on.
I don't know either. I think Killinger's bugging out right now. I saw him kind of dipping it. Might be having connection issues. I'm not sure. All he has to do is peek up over through this smoke.
RPT doesn't see him. He's literally looking right at him. What's going on here?
They're deep in smoke. Killinger is covered. Can hardly breathe. Cushberries finds RPT as he tries to go up the stairs in this, and this is Silent Purge's strategy. They're trying to smoke out middle house.
Oh, UC Death picking up Killinger on his rotation. We've got a 3v3 now. Kev Buxton and UC Death gonna try and make their push into the center house amidst full smoke. I think Snoop Dogg is having a party in this center house, and Silent Purge are the guests of honor.
I'd agree with you on that. Kush finding the other entry as he tries to go up. Woods coming down, finding himself in kill. The team kill comes out. Kev with the trade, and Woods, the last one alive.
And a bug lobby.
Nope.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah. We are having some real interesting lag either. This lag, wow, real interesting lag issues right now.
Yeah, Cushberry's not happy there. He got 2 team kills in that round. Very upset. Lots of expletives coming out from him there at the end of that round as he goes down after taking down Icy Woods. And it looks like we did have a disconnect. Dr. Killinger must have been having some real issues.
Yeah.
He has officially left the lobby now. We will be waiting for their 5th man to return.
That was interesting nonetheless. I don't think there's any foul play there. I just think we were having some lag issues on our part for sure. I know Killinger was bouncing around on my screen, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? While we have this little break, if you're just joining us, of course, this is Beginners versus Silent Purge here on the Onward Master League Season 6, Week 5?
Yes, indeed. Week 5.
And we're still in map 1. It's 3-3. Nobody got the advantage. Silent Purge really putting up a great fight here against the Beginners. And of course, want to say thanks to everyone who's tuning in live on the stream right now. It looks like we had a 2-man raid come in from Mr. Izzy1775.
Absolutely, and thanks for dealing with any tech issues we've had today. I think, you know, we are, like he said earlier, casting with some serious lag that we're dealing with from time to time. Killinger is back in the lobby, though, so we should be on our way shortly. That 2-minute timer there, that countdown timer almost beginning, but called it short just in time.
Yeah, luckily the host of the lobby does have the option to turn that auto start timer off if a situation like this arises, and you know, at that point, especially if it's a an unwarranted drop. You know, the player does not elect to leave the lobby themselves, but is instead booted. Of course, the other teams typically being, oh my goodness, my thoughts leaving my head before my mouth's ready to say them. But you know what? Who cares? Because round number 7 is starting right now, and we're gonna finally know who's gonna take this map.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. It has been quite a interesting series so far.
Was in the corner, like inside corner.
Silent Purge now are going to be able to take the bulk advantage into their hands. And honestly, they could take the first map against the reigning champs.
That's very true. All they need to do is play solid defense on this objective like they did in the previous round where we had this same objective. And yeah, exactly. And we're kind of seeing a similar play style here, the way Beginner's playing it.
A different defense, though.
A different defense, which may end up being the downfall of Silent Purge here on this one. But yeah, Beginner's playing almost exactly how they did the first time. They've got Smoils in the spawn house up on the 2nd floor, trying to look down the lane 3. And then they've got all 4 members taking up quick real estate grabs on lane 1, trying to get themselves up, and now they're going to do a methodical push. My bet is we see about 4 or 5 smokes come out there on lane 4, and they try and push across.
I think what you're seeing here is a reaction defense from Silent Purge. Take a look at this position Strategic has where he can peek through this small sliver of the wood here. I think he's waiting for this 4-man push that they have done once already on them, and he'll be able to shoot behind the smokes, potentially really putting a wrench in Beginner's plan here.
Never seen that used. Can you actually see and shoot through that?
You can definitely see through it, and that wood's penetrable, so...
I guess I have my answer.
I mean, I can see through it right now on the spectator cam.
Yeah, that's very true. Alright, so it looks like Beginners may be actually altering the strategy up just a little bit. The 4-man push isn't going to come out all at once. They have split themselves off into 2 groups of 2 at the time, for the time being. Smoils laying down some suppressing from the back. Not really finding any targets, though. Not sure if he saw something or if he's just pre-firing.
He was shooting right at the old positions that they had taken up last defense.
Aha.
I mean, we're seeing reactions on both ends here. Then he frags it. This is really interesting to see. This is yeah, I mean, we're tied up here for a reason. Beginners are the reigning champs, but Silent Purge have proven that they are quite the competitive squad here. I think they've definitely ramped up their abilities over the last few weeks. Maybe they've sort of stepped it up this season. I'm not sure, but this is definitely a Silent Purge team I'm not really used to seeing.
Yeah, and Beginners, you can definitely see where the Beginners noted the location of the enemies who killed them in the previous round when they played this objective, because now we're seeing smokes, we're seeing grenades, all coming out on the positions that they had previously. A frag comes out there from Strajack. Unfortunately, the wood from the fence keeps Woods 43 alive, and here comes the push on lane 4.
See if Strajack is looking. I think he's just holding this angle, waiting for the cross. He does catch Woods out nicely. He does get picked off, though, as he gets over-aggressive. Kush with the refrag, and now it's a 3v4, as it looks like someone went down in lane 2.
Yeah, RPT was taken down by, I believe, Dr. Killinger, maybe, on that lane 1 push. And then Strajack, as he got a little bit too greedy, got a little too aggressive, and on the coming out, Cushberry's able to pick him up as well.
Yeah, I mean, these smokes are denying vision. Actually, now they've just burned off. If you see Death peeks and pays attention to the street, he might be able to catch the rotation from Beginners.
Did you see where Kev just threw that grenade? He just threw it out of the map. I don't know. Maybe he cooked it too long and didn't know where to throw it, so he just discarded it. But that sucker went into one of the houses in the next neighborhood. Gonna have to call the HOA board about that one.
He could have just had some butterfingers, and that puppy could have slipped out as well. So
very true. It can all happen here in Onward Master League.
That's very true. We've seen magic happen today, so anything's possible. Oh, man.
A quiet still befalls the battlefield as Beginners methodically take their peeks and look for their defending friends.
Hone in on the Kev as he ambitiously peeks over the shrubbery, trying to identify his predators.
While we have a chance here, and there's a little bit of silence, thank you, Noman and Rush of Light, for clipping Wizard 101, and he is a ghost from Dr. Killinger and his amazing Russian magic moves from the previous round.
Feel free to clip any good action you see. I love to go back to the cast and look at the recent 24-hour clips and see clips taken from the matches that we've cast, because I just like to see the highlights, and it's great to have you guys doing that, so I don't have to go back and run through everything. Cushberries does get picked off by UC Death. Some good shots there. Cush getting a little overexposed as he tries to peek out. Now it's a 2v4. I think, honestly, this position that Buxton and Kev are in is the best spot to be. I don't think beginners are looking for a cap here.
And just a correction on that last call out is actually Cushberries getting the kill, not being killed by UC Death. So it's actually, you know, Silent Purge now facing a 2v4 situation as beginners methodically kind of enclose the objective here. If you look at their map spread, they've got a decent little kind of rounding circle, just kind of slowly tightening the noose up on the objective as we speak.
I really do like Buxton's position. Waiting to catch this north rotation. Killinger team kills Woods. Smoils finds Kev. The objective's open. Buxton gets picked off by Smoils. Beginners take the first map. Real close, 4-3.
Yeah, absolutely. No matter what had just happened there, that was a fantastic matchup. That was... wow. Silent Purge, many props to you. That was an excellent first map. I don't think anyone really expected for you guys to put up that kind of a fight, but you did. A few mistakes made there in that last defensive round that I think really tilted the win there for beginners in that map. But overall, I think you guys really surprised the hell out of us with how well you played that map. So, good on you.
Yeah, quite the performance. And we're going to go into another similarly close quarters map, Bazaar, as our second choice. I think this is also, Silent Purge's pick.
Yeah, that would be the case typically. I mean, unless they chose to take sides and let beginners have the map choice. But usually it's a very unlikely thing to happen in Onward Master League. I mean, sometimes teams will play that in their strategy, but yeah. So obviously they feel strong here. We could be seeing another great back and forth on Bazaar for the second map.
I would love that very much. Silent Purge proving that they are not going to just roll over and let these reigning champs stop them, but see if that's the case as well on Bazaar. It could be a completely different story. We've seen teams, these top-tier teams, sort of get loose in round 1 and then step it up rounds 2 and 3 to sort of cap off their series. Very well could happen. We could see beginners go into a different gear here on this map. By the way, I think we do still have the same roster. No subs coming in. On beginners, Killinger, Woods, Cushberries, Woods 43, and Smoils. On Silent Purge, Buxton, UC Death, RPT, Kev, and Strajic. So yeah, no substitutions coming out.
Which is good because I think both teams are playing very well right now, and I think to interrupt that coordination like we saw SMC do on the last map last night, just don't think it's a smart choice. Now, I think SMC obviously a lot more comfortable in being able to do so because they had already clinched the series, so it was really nothing more than about points at that point. But yeah, I mean, I would not interrupt this. Both teams playing very well, very coordinated, so I think interrupting that momentum, that strategy is going to be detrimental to whatever team decides to do so.
We are going to be hopping into our second map of the day. The first round, Silent Purge versus beginners. We're also going to be firing it off with a fast spawn. Potentially, if they decide to push hard. But they're not. Silent Purge may be taking more of a beginner's approach. They're going to slow play this spawn, wrap all the way around to that east side. make their entry from there. Buxton is getting aggressive, maybe looking for an early pick out of a rotation from beginners. Tried to get Woods as he went up to that 2-story, but couldn't. Be cautious though. Killinger is looking for the refrag onto that bottom floor. He can't quite find it.
Meanwhile, Strayjack, reset my camera as I try to set it. Meanwhile, Strayjack on the eastern side of the map, trying to kind of push into the center bazaar courtyard here and maybe lend some support to his friendlies as they make their way up the west. And he's backed up by a couple of guys as well. Got UC Death and RPT pushing up. Icy Woods, though, going to pose a threat to that here very shortly. Oh, he's dropped down. Strayjack heard those shots. Is he going to be able to find the shot?
He thought he had a kill.
Woods?
Woods thought he confirmed Strajak there. He just said he had one down. Strajak is going to be looking here now.
Does he not? Can he not see him?
No, he's tucked into that tiny little alcove. He's just waiting for Woods to peek out from that.
Ooh, and Woods almost backed himself right into it. And here it comes. Strayjack takes down Woods. Cushberries needs to be looking for the refrag. He's not going to get it because Smoils is going to pick it up first. And it's 4v4. Cushberries calling out that he did double tap him, but beginner's count could be wrong. As you mentioned, Icy Woods did claim that he got a kill. But unfortunately, you and I both know that's just not the case.
Buxton pushed up nicely into the center bazaar area. It's going to be a bit of a slow roll since they're going to have to cross that street, deal with Smoils, who's watching it, and a handful of other issues once they do.
Yeah, and it's not looking so easy in the west either. You got 3 beginners just kind of pinned looking west. Well, technically 2, because I guess Smoils is watching east. But the other 2, though, eyes pinned on the west. They're going to be waiting on that street cross from the west. So it's Silent Purge going to have their work cut out for them here on this objective to try and get across. UC Death giving himself away and wasting bullets by double tapping Icy Woods, even though Icy Woods has been long gone.
Yeah, Smoils reacting, saying that he now believes they're going to try something over here, so he's a little bit more alert, prone, looking for some action there. Jones are rotating around on objective, making sure that no tomfoolery is happening. Buxton's going to drop back, maybe to assist his friend on that west side.
And here we go. Smokes have come out from Silent Purge in the east. Not a very great one, really, because the first part of their trek across the street is going to be completely wide open. Not really sure what the purpose of that is, but I guess we'll see.
Maybe UC Death's the one that's going to be running interference. Kev does find Woods on the back end over on that west side. Turns it into a 4v3. Now the smokes are good. RP3 has a free and easy cross here.
As does UC Death. UC Death is now going to start making his motion. RPT as well. Both members of Silent Purge are going to make it safely across to the south side of the eastern street.
Sort of tuned back into objective. Buxton pushed up into that kill box area. Gets found by Killinger. Kev now going to try to get that refrag.
Smoils bearing down from the objective room down the eastern street. Not sure if he saw anything or if he's just blinded or if he's just blind firing to suppress. But he's not making any connections. RPT UC Death still safe and moving forward on the eastern front.
Oh, he had to have seen RPT cross. Yeah, he did. The call out just came there. They don't have that option of going up that lane. It's just not safe now. Smoils is really dialed in there. Look at this, though. UC Death, RPT, they're pushing up hard. Utilizing the insides of these rooms to get up really close to Kush. Now the smoke out, very well thrown to block Smoils' vision. UC Death can get up in here, tag Kush. A frag comes out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it forced that move out of him. Kush gets that frag and then gets the kill, and the frag instantly confirms him.
Yeah, I believe though. Ooh, risky play there from RPT. He's definitely exposed. All Smoils has to. Yep, that's all he has to do is come out and blind fire, and there's enough.
Ooh, Kev tried to get behind Smoils, but Killinger was there waiting. The 3-man squad from Beginners holds on, takes that first round against Silent Purge.
Yeah, they definitely had those street crossings locked down. I think Silent Purge maybe took a little bit too long to get across that street, because then they were already announced. They knew where they were. They knew that they had crossed on both sides. There was really no way for them to get across. That attack play just kind of crumbling on them right at the end there. But otherwise, still a great round. We should be in for another interesting bout here on map number 2.
See how Silent Purge answer back, because I think this will be the tell right now if Beginners are going to sort of run away with this series, if they're going to sort of stomp, so to speak, the rest of these maps, because right now that was a good answer back. It was 3-2. There were some early picks there. Silent Purge still proving that, you know, that Suburbia map wasn't a fluke. But I think now's the test if Beginners are going to ramp it up. They are the reigning champs. They are the Globochem of EU and NA. The dominating team that you have to be looking out for when you go up against them.
They're the Globochem of EU and NA.
I mean, yeah, because I feel like...
I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? Globochem are the world champs, dude. They're the team that, if you go up against them, they're hard to battle no matter what. Beginners have taken that title now.
Well, and I think, though, that anybody who's met the Beginners or watched them play in any of these LAN events like you or myself have, you know how serious these Beginners are. These guys, I remember back in Leicester, the first Invitational, they would seclude themselves with maps and start talking strats, and they were a very serious crew, so they're definitely putting in the time to be able to take down a team like Globochem. So, you know, kudos to them for that. It was a great battle to get to watch, and especially great to be able to analyze. And, you know, they really showed their stuff.
Yeah, I am only one man. Doing replays is just a bit too much. Unless you want overlays up on accident or bad camera angles. You get one or the other, you know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. So I kind of focus on what we can manage, and it's not going to happen, Viper.
The Woods brothers in the west, waiting for their chance to strike. Woods 43 trained on the blue objective room near the near the center of the map.
Suppressive fire coming out.
I think he's actually shooting at UC Death there in the corner. Smoil's able to pick up Strayjack, though. It's a great early pick for Beginners, taking them up one man, 5-4.
Yeah, that was an over-aggressive spot from Strayjack. You see where he got down there in the corner. I just don't know if he should have really been that pushed up against this sort of squad. You want to sit back and really bide your time against Beginners.
Yeah, another comment I might have towards the Silent Purge defense is, with UC Death down there all the way in the bottom in the southwest corner, if the attackers are able to down the remaining 3 that are right on top of the objective, he may not be able to make it in time for a cap attack from Beginners at this point. So he knows that they've lost the man. I think at this point, if it were myself, I think I would recommend, you know, kind of rotating back. Still watching that west side. There's definitely no wrong in watching that western approach, but I would definitely start getting myself within a sprintable distance from the objective so that I could get back and take care of it if something were to come.
Yeah, he's getting a little over aggressive here too as he's trying to catch out the Woods brothers. He does finally get picked off by Woods 43, and that opens up this lane for them to approach down. If he had, you know, I understand the mentality. You know that there's two over there, so you're gonna try and dial in and keep him there, but getting over aggressive. Killinger also almost picks off Kev, and Silent Purge are just in a bit of a jam right now.
Yep, beginners in a spot that they like. They've got all 5 of their guys up and ready to attack. They've already started to encircle the objective. They've got 3 men up top in the north. 2 men now able to push. The Woods brothers now able to push together down south. They're going to be able to close off anybody coming in from the back, and also just make a push. Maybe even sneak up in there if they play their cards right. If they played an El Vegas style attack here and just laid down with their tablet out and crawled up to the objective, they could probably get in there with sight unseen.
Very well could. Kev now on the rotation might get caught out as well, or he could find Woods. Smokey is going to come out onto objective. Yeah, their eyes on a cap here. They want to go up 3-0.
And I don't blame them. Kev, though, going to try and shut down that approach, but is he going to peek too soon? It's yet to be seen. He peeks out. Woods not able to catch it. They're playing peekaboo, and it's not going to cause anything. Oh, but I thought it was a frag, and Woods 43 does catch Kev.
Now it's all up to RPT and Buxton. Buxton's on objective, RPT in blue room. Killinger coming in close. Peeks out and catches Buxton. The objective is exposed. RPT realizes he's the last one alive, finds a pick out at Ice Cream Truck and rotates back towards objective. The crash is on objective now. He has to find Killinger.
Oh, he gets another one. Wow, that was a great pick from RPT there. But he's got to be careful, and Woods 43, as I say it, Woods 43 picks up RPT, and beginners take another round. They go up 2-0 on that.
Yeah, that was definitely a bit more of what I was sort of expecting to see on Suburbia. You know, beginners there handedly winning that round. Lots of good smokes. You know, an almost comeback from RPT as he picked up 2, but
yeah, that was a great kind of semi-clutch play there from RPT.
Yeah.
He was doing a really great job of covering the objective there at the end, able to get 2 picks. Killinger almost in there, almost ready to start, you know, punching in that code. But RPT says, sir, not today. You are not going up 3-0 on us. And now let's just hope that Silent Purge can at least get a point here or maybe in the next round on defense, because they really need that. They don't want to get washed out here 4-0 on map number 2.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you can... Obviously, this map a must-win for Silent Purge if they want to stay in the series, since beginners took that first map on Suburbia 4-3. But we'll see. What objective are we coming up on? We'll see what the chances are. We'll evaluate their opportunities. It is going to be that west side objective, so I don't know. This one's a hard one to attack.
It is. However, it also can be a hard one to defend. I mean, but realistically as well, though, you could say that about quite a lot, especially of the bizarre objectives. I mean, there's so many entrances, so many routes and angles to cover on the defense. It could, I mean, these maps just, that's what I love about this map and Quarantine and some of the other kind of mid-sized maps with the variation in play types. You got long range, you've got short range, you've got mid range with lots of cover.
A pretty standard defensive lineup from beginners. Not looking for any early ambitious picks. Just gonna wait for that really objective crossing. They're not going for any early picks at all.
Make a lag spike. Head in the northeast. One in the northeast.
Silent Purge making moves, looking like they're hesitant to want to push too far. It's almost like they're expecting the beginners to be more aggressive on defense. Shots rang out from Kev in the north. He's going to relocate, not finding anything. Really not even sure if he spot anything or if he's just pre-firing that dumpster on the north street.
Buxton has made his way over to this wall where he'll try and toss some nades into that courtyard area. Probably won't find anyone, though. They don't have anybody aggressively pushed up into that courtyard. Smoil's the closest one, but he's tucked back into that alleyway.
I think Buxton needs to hold his horses. He needs to wait for the rest of his team to get even relatively close. The rest of his team very far off. He's kind of out of sync with them. So for him to start tossing nades at this time is just going to give himself away. It'll let the beginners rotate, figure out something to counter it. But his team is now making the push. They're coming up behind him, so we should be seeing a little bit of coordinated attack here at any moment. But yeah, he just needs to kind of wait it out, let his team get into position, and then, or just go guns hot right now and let it fly. You know,
he doesn't care what you have to say.
He doesn't, but he's gonna watch it back later and be like, you know what? I think Sleepy had a point, and then he's gonna tell me to go F myself.
Go kick some rocks.
So yeah, exactly. Go kick rocks. That'll be a feature on his stream later tonight.
Silent Purge maybe taking a page out of the beginner's book and slowing up their approach here. I feel like they've been going kind of relatively fast the last few rounds. They haven't really had any slow rounds on Suburbia. Everything was pretty quick and action-packed. Now I think they're kind of slowing it up a little bit. Taking their time getting into this mini courtyard, and then, you know, Buxton patiently waiting to throw those nades before he makes any moves.
And the smoke comes out.
Really nicely tossed smokes, dude. Holy cow.
Kushberry's gonna try and toss the smoke away. He is successful in tossing one. Oh, but RPT brings out the grenade that downs Kushberry. He's gonna call for his teammates. Strange Jack's gonna pick him up on the transition.
3 go down on beginners. It's a 2v4. Buxton comes out from his side.
Buxton needs to signal right now that he's going for a cap. If not, they could let Icy Woods be killed and take just 1 point, where they've definitely got the opportunity for 2.
Buxton isn't making the right approach, though. He went through that blue L, and Woods has eyes on the L.
But maybe not for much longer. Some smoke's coming out from UC Death.
Oh.
He does manage to catch Buxton out before the smokes fill up, but the rest of Silent Purge is going to have that opportunity. Kev comes out, picks up UC Death or UC Woods, Icy Woods on the refrag. You know what? I'm just combining the teams now. We've got the Silent Beginners on playing. You know. Oh my life.
It gets confusing when there's Icy Woods, Woods 43, and I don't know. You just maybe you saw the Icy Woods and you thought UC Death. It's all one. You know. A good round from Silent Purge, though. They slowed up their play a little bit, and it really paid off. That was tactical, man. Those nades were very well placed. That was an organized push on that objective. Like, those 3 smokes on objective were perfectly lined up to prevent a cross on that street. Or to block sight on that street. That frag on the corner, perfectly placed to get that frag. They had a guy waiting for the res to come out too. I mean, it was really a nice push there. Buxton had just waited a second later. They could have gotten in for the cap.
Yeah, just a poor choice of route, unfortunately. And, you know, we always second guess ourselves in situations like that when we're playing. But it seems that he just chose a bad route, and even if the route might have worked once those smokes came out, he just pushed it a little too quickly, and Icy Woods was ready for it, unfortunately. Had he gone through the mini market, though, which is usually kind of a risky move, typically on this map because of coverage, you know, he would have had it. But, you know, we can't live in a world of ifs and buts. But Silent Purge able to take a crucial Marsoc round, and now they're on defense. Maybe they can bring it back up to a tie here.
Yeah. That was a really clutch round for them to grab. They could have let Beginners run away with it, but they had that Volk advantage. Going up 3-0 would have been huge, but we'll see. A sort of different sort of defensive layout here. Strazak getting a little bit more forward, tucking himself into that little corner. He'll be waiting to hear any footsteps. I mean, it's a vulnerable position. Teams have typically started to frag that spot or sort of be ready for somebody in that corner. Some interesting pad tricks going on there. Woods has gotten into that second story spot. Kind of a new spot that's been taken up, I think, this season. Peeking out that window there is really nice. You have good angles down into objective. Woods also has a good line of sight towards that kill box where Kev, if he decides to peek, is going to be in trouble.
Yeah, Strayjack actually, if he were to have peeked there as well, Woods 43 would have been able to see that also from that window spot. The only problem with that is because you're sitting in a doorway silhouetting yourself so much, it's also quite easy for the defenders to see you if you're not maybe trying to give yourself away too quickly, you know, and you're maybe reserving your shots before taking them. So could have worked out either way, but neither one really just able to see anything.
I see Woods sending off some suppressive fire over to that west side, maybe to just sort of draw a little distraction. As soon as he does that, he rotates out.
Copy that.
You see Death tactically placed himself behind a brick pole there, so no fire will go through. He won't get hit. Killinger pushing up pretty aggressively. Looking out through that window towards objective, and I don't know, the Silent Purge defense looks a little bit too spread. Not really dialed in on where this attack's happening.
Yeah, they've given a lot of real estate has been taken up by Beginners already. They're already kind of in position to attack, and the defense from Silent Purge favors the north. Fortunately for them, Buxton able to pick off one, and now they're going to kind of be aware where that's going to come from. If I were Silent Purge, I'd pull that guy off that north street, maybe rotate him around through the western alleys there in the northwest, and get him in a position better suited to help kind of defend on this objective.
3 minutes in, Buxton noting that it's a pretty aggressive push from Beginners, and I would agree, they feel like they're right up in the grill of Silent Purge relatively early.
Straight Jack popping off some shots. Not sure if that was accidental or if he intended those shots, but now Cushberry's looking through the window, doing a bit of the sink-ass shuffle. But Kev being very disciplined, not peeking out there. Cushberry's going to run up the steps. He decides, nope, never mind.
Exchange of fire. Kev trying to find Killinger. He can't. Strazak now stuck, trying to battle two. The rest of Silent Purge is rotating closer towards objective. The push coming in on that side gets one. Buxton goes down. UC Death gets picked up. Beginners getting traded left and right. RPT finds one on the cross.
I see Woods going to be watching possibly Buxton's body. RPT needs to be careful if he's going to come in for this res. Hopefully Buxton can call out IC Woods' location, give RPT the chance to get the pick, and then go for the res, and then it's going to be a whole different game for Silent Purge.
We have really close trades on both sides. RPT trying to get the res on Buxton. Strazak real close to Killinger.
And a frag's going to come out from RPT. It's not going to go the right direction.
Oh, a team kill!
Team kill. And RPT's grenade ends up killing his own teammate, Buxton. We got team kills on both sides. It's still 2v2, though.
Back on board, Strazak, who's real close to Killinger here. Rotating into mini market, getting aggressive on this. This has been Strazak's MO. He's been pretty aggressive with his pushes. RPT with a clutch trade on Smoils. Now it's a 1v1. Killinger comes out and gets the pick. Now Beginners go up 3-1.
Wow. I actually really thought Silent Purge had that one. I thought they were going to clean that one up just right at the very end, but unfortunately, of course, like most of the rest of today in my predictions and calls, I was wrong. So take that, John Cusack.
You know what? Just to appease the masses, I've really stepped up my game here.
Oh yeah? Did you pick up some replays?
I got one, that last play. Not perfect,
Well,
alright?
You tried.
And I barely caught it.
You tried, okay, bud? It's okay.
Not perfect, everybody. But yeah, Strazak, I think he's just been getting over-aggressive a little bit on his defensive rotations, you know? If he had just stayed disciplined, stayed in his position, he probably could have picked off Killinger as he tried to go for objective. You don't need to be going out there trying to get that kill, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, and also just with Smoyle's team kill, had RPT's grenade not kind of flubbed and hit the wall and taken out Buxton, they could have been one up on them and still had another man alive. I mean, it's just all the situations that arise at the end of these maps and the end of these rounds is just hair pulling sometimes. You just want to pull your hair out from it all.
The heavy smokes here denying Smoyle's vision. He's mentioning he can't see any of this crossing here. So some good smokes from Silent Purge.
Oh, he did see that. They didn't quite cover the southern part of the eastern side of the middle street, and he does call out at least 2 costs.
Look at Icy Woods.
What is Icy Woods doing? Where's that guy?
I know. You might. You can even look at him, and you still wouldn't even see where he is. He's tucked himself up against the wall of the east side here, into a little dark corner.
Yeah, I saw this. I saw a G-Man, I believe, use this in Leicester when we were all there playing. I think he thought it was a viable route to get around this building, but...
Oh, you see that super exposed. Back turn to Woods. Buxton now knows he's there, though.
Oh, and with a gorgeous pre-fire, Buxton refrags Icy Woods and clears up the northeast, or the southeast, I should say.
Yeah, that was really nicely done. Buxton with a good, quick peek snapshot there. Maybe Woods just wasn't expecting 2 because the call out was that there was 1, so Woods probably felt confident he had denied that entry point from this team, but...
Oh, no. Smoyles did in fact change his call out up. He did call out 2. However, there was actually 4 that got across the street, so either way, he didn't call out the right number, and so Icy Woods has probably miscounted that. Smoyles able to pick up Strayjack as he pushes down the street. Again, Strayjack is kind of out of sync and is pushing up way too aggressive. He's way out in front of the rest of his team. I don't know. I think Silent Purge need to try and rein Strayjack in. I know he's a great player, and he's a hell of a fast capper, but here lately, both on offense and defense, he's just been kind of out of the rotation, out of sync with the rest of the team, and it's caused him to get picked on crucial points in the map.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'd argue Silent Purge are in a very good position to be coming in on this objective. To get 2 members south like this is really nice. You can do a lot with this. You can cause all sorts of distractions. You can open up entry points for your other squad members. Strategic has just taken his time and let his team converge, and then he had moved in with them. Smoyles might have been looking somewhere else, you know?
Yeah, and luckily they still have Kev in the north. If Buxton, for example, can take down Killinger here, who's in a very, very unorthodox spot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Kev can make a lot of noise, distract the team, get them to be able to push across this very southern street and into the building right south of the objective, and they might be able to make a push onto the objective without being caught.
I like that spot. I like that prone spot from Killinger. It was interesting. He just was barely unseen by Buxton.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw him just wonder if it was worth it to prone again for that position. He goes up and down. Woods finally picking off Kev, and now it's Buxton and RPT.
And Buxton has now given away their south push. Killinger now watching that area like a hawk. The rest of the team. Yeah, and there it is.
Buxton's resable, though. RPT has to get that off quick.
luckily for him, Dr. Killinger does rotate. He is moving positions. So where he was is no longer going to be the threat. And they're going to have to re-find him all over again.
Just taking up the motto of the that other team, SMC. Shoot, move, kill.
Strangling more chickens.
So much cheese.
With 2 E's. Oh, 3 E's.
It's hard to count. Either way, Buxton with a good little move here to get on the other side of the street. RPT can kind of support him from this side. Killinger is going to try and get a frag off towards RPT. Just barely misses.
Oh, and RPT's frag also just getting hung in one of the balconies up on that building as well. Just a bad shake for RPT and his frags. Buxton maybe, honestly, may be able to get up in here. Cushberry's just kind of looking all around. He's not necessarily watching the objective. He's kind of watching all over the place. Smokes are now out from Buxton. He's going to put one out right in front of Cushberry's door. Smart play from him. Oh, that was a frag. Never mind.
That would have been a great smoke if it was, though, because he would have denied vision on Smoils and Cush. RPT now trying to do something. They definitely don't expect Buxton's positioning here. He's getting really aggressive.
Yeah, if he's not careful, though, Killinger's going to catch him out. But Killinger doesn't.
Wow, he finds Woods. Can he get Killinger? No, he can't. Oh, RPT tried to get out there too, but couldn't make any magic happen, and beginners take the series 4-1. Sorry, take the map, but do take the series.
Wow. Still a great match. Silent Purge still putting up a heck of a fight. I mean, overall score still only being 8-4, so, you know, still pretty close, and we still got one more map, so Silent Purge has plenty of opportunity, put some more points on the board, and really lessen that MMR drop.
Yeah, they do. It could be, frankly, they could come away and tie that score up, you know what I mean? And it's even...
Yeah, that's very true. If they go 4-0 on the last map, I mean, that's a tie game.
I don't think it's going to be an easy one, though. It is going to be beginner's map choice, and I don't think they're going to really let Silent Purge take that map easily.
No, and I do have a feeling we're going to see Downfall.
Oof. Well, that'll be interesting, because I do think that both squads have some long-range potential.
And I was right.
Well, aren't you magical?
No, I just know that beginners really like this map, so why not save it as the series decider in case, you know, Silent Purge were to have taken map 2 from them. I think it was a good kind of safety net for beginners here. But yes, I think both teams do play this map very well, and Silent Purge do have a chance of putting a couple of points on the board. And my goodness, we have got no time to waste here, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to run it right in to round 1 of map 3 here. Today's matchup.
It's been a good competitive series. Silent Purge, to me, have really proved that they're a team you got to watch out for. They're definitely going up. They're going up against Boss Fight today, too? Is that, am I wrong on that? Or tomorrow, or this weekend, rather?
Yes, they have the 2 top dogs in the EU that they're gunning for. They are really wanting to capitalize on any MMR that they could pick up. Beginners, I think, was their scheduled match for this week, and Boss Fight being a challenge.
Ooh, Silent Purge almost really getting punished. What happened there was a super early move that I've seen Arsenic do. Smoils has taken it up. If you get this north spawn, you charge straight up to this roof and just immediately look for picks, look for early rotations. Doesn't quite work out for beginners as they lose 2 since their location was given away early.
Yeah, both resable, though. You've already got a member of the beginners rushing over to Dr. Killinger's position.
I'm not sure how to call it, like, he's in the middle.
Yeah, he's going to be a tough res, though. Both these reses are susceptible. I think Killinger should be able to get picked up. Nobody's keeping an eyeball on him.
Yeah, Woods 43 definitely going to be the more difficult of the 2 to revive. Buxton, though, maybe he turned his attention away from it, because now Killinger and his teammate are going to press and put some heavy fire on that position.
Moyle's now finally rotating out of that north hotel area. Buxton doing some sweet tricks, dude, flipping his gun around.
I'll go to that one if you want.
He knows the casters are watching, and he's just trying to put on a good show for everybody, I think.
Some defensive smokes to get him across. Buxton has 2 on his hand, on hand, thankfully, so that should give RPT enough cover.
Now, instead of wasting ammo with his main weapon, Buxton decides, you know what, I'm just going to use my pistol here to give some suppressive fire for RPT as he crosses. What goes on in the mind of the BBC analyst Buxton? Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know. I think we're just going to be in for a bit of a slow roll here. Obviously, downfall and beginners about as slow as you can get. We are going to be running into some action over here on this southeast side. Killinger is pushing up, and he'll have to deal with UC Death. Bottom floor of a building you wouldn't expect someone to be bottom floor in, too. That's a good position. I actually like that. He's going to be waiting for Killinger to try and go up into that 2-story, cross up to those stairs. Or cross up to those, yeah, the stairs right there. The problem is, though, is he knows Killinger's there, but he can't radio this information in. Soon enough, there's going to be 3 there, and I wonder at what point UC Death will have to finally radio into his squad that there's a whole team here on this hill.
Killinger puts out a smoke. Not sure of its intended purpose, really, but he puts it out there anyways. UC Death gonna be just inside, right on the other side of the wall. He's gonna catch Cushberries out. He does. Dr. Killinger's ready. No, he's not. UC Death picks up 2 there, and Icy Woods sees both of his comrades go down. He's got eyes trained on that building, but you know what he says? Maybe next week.
He doesn't have to go that route. This way, though, not as safe either. He's gonna have to deal with that White House defender.
Fortunately for him, the White House defender has gotten bored of watching the ravine and is now watching out more towards the center of the map. So unless Woods makes a lot of noise here, Kev is not going to be any wiser. And the smoke's going to come out on the window, but it's too short. Not quite going to cover as well as he'd like. Kev's going to hear it, reposition to the window. And he's still just not going to see him.
Yeah, that's... That smoke's not going to do a lot. Kev does peek out. I think he might have spotted him. Woods goes down. Patience pays off for Kev. Now Silent Purge looking good. 5v2. Beginners are going to have a tough time with this one. Oh.
And there's the confirmation out from Kev. I was wondering if he was going to let him live and speak to his team. But he did not. He came in, he finished the job, and now RPT picks up Woods 43, and that's the other Woods brother gone. It's now up to Smoils, who's, of course, left all by himself. Ain't nobody got time for that song right now.
Well, it becomes a problem once you've trademarked it, and people expect this sort of performance out of you. Smoils.
I used to sing that song to people when I was downed in comp lobbies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to people who were nearby. I don't know if it's to annoy them or to let them know, like, you didn't finish me off, sucker.
Smoils finds Buxton on objective. Very nice shots from him. RPT surprisingly not peeking.
I really thought Smoils was just like firing to get their attention so that he could die and they can move on to the next round. But of course, that's foolish of me. Why would someone do something like that? And Straight Jack, you know what? He says, I've had enough of this. I'm not going to wait for the timer. I'm just going to finish you off. And Silent Purge get the first point on map 3.
Yeah, they're looking good. Starting off strong on a map picked by beginners. I mean, maybe their rotations, their spawn, that early shots from Smoils just weren't the right thing. Wasn't the right move. Giving away their position like that, since they didn't catch any trades, just didn't pay off. We also hear some complainers about lag there.
Complainers from the players?
I heard some dead comms coming in.
Uh,
The struggle of EU, I suppose.
it is, and I mean, maybe we're the cause of it. Maybe they wouldn't have.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to wonder.
But at the same time, I have heard a lot of comments here in the last few weeks about there being some debilitating lag. I did hear Ponecake actually mentioning it in the SMC Legionnaires match last night. That's actually why he withdrew himself from the third map.
We were having lag yesterday. Yeah, that's true. I remember seeing some of that yesterday as well.
So I think it might be something that needs to be looked at here in the near future, trying to get that issue addressed, because if that starts causing the deciding factor of these matches, there are going to be a lot of salty players in the Onward VR Master League's Discord.
There's already a lot of salty players.
That's very true.
But that's what happens when things get competitive and hot and heavy. People get passionate. And
That's it. And I am now watching the teleporting members of Silent Purge teleport their way towards the semi-quick spawn objective. Smoil's trying to put out some fire from the south and southern hill, but it's not going to be very effective. He's not going to catch anyone out. And Silent Purge already have 3 in the center hotel, so all they need to do now, get some vantage points, get some picks, even things up, and then go in for their attack.
yeah, they're in good spots. They've got all 3 moved up quickly. Smoils with the suppressive fire giving his position away again. Kind of what he does, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, when you have that many bullets,
Yeah,
you know,
he might have
and you're
fucked up
firing
and-
at areas
But
where
he's
you know
definitely,
the
I
enemies
saw him
probably
somewhere
are, they
in-
are going to probably be keeping their head down, and that window is not as easy to see the enemy in, so unless you're just kind of lucky and pre-fire it and just happen to get a hit on him, it's not a good chance that you're gonna have much effect. Kev, however, getting a first down on IC Woods up in the northern, well, it used to be north dark room, but now there's lights in there, so.
Yeah, nice long-range shot from him. We'll see if he'll be able to find Killinger Cushberries here, who are tucked themselves into those 2 window areas on objective.
And lucky for RPT, Killinger no longer watching that angle for the moment, so he can get in there, can get that res off, and he does. Buxton now back in the game. It's 5v4 again in beginner's favor. But now we see, oh, and a nice pick. Kev gets the other Woods brother trying to save his other brother from another mother. And got it down to 3. Both of them down and not really in a good position to be rezzed at this point. Smoil's really going to be their only man able to get the job done, and it's going to take him a while to get there, and he's going to have to expose himself to get out there.
Here's some sniper shots coming out from Strazek, I think. Yeah, he's using that 12-time
yes.
silencer. He was trying to find some picks into that one story. He just couldn't land those shots. Interesting to see Strazek take this up, considering he's been the one that's been aggressively pushing for the team.
Yeah, he's definitely. Can he hear me? 'Cause I feel like he can hear me. No, but he is doing a great job at kind of being a bit more reserved and staying in sync with his team. He's actually, if anything, he's a little bit behind his team now. But since he's running that 12x, that's not so much of an issue. That's playing more towards his role in this map. And Silent Purge doing a hell of a job here so far. They might be able to get in here and get another point on the board on their Marsoc round.
I mean, we're kind of just tossing around ideas, but I mean, if you take this 4-0, you're really lightening your MMR blow. And then you go up against boss fight. If you can do well like this against boss fight, you have a chance of taking that series.
Yeah, that'll be really good for their overall MMR, their global ranking, their EU ranking. I mean, Silent Purge is number 3 in the EU, as someone mentioned in the Twitch chat earlier. They're number 6 overall, I believe, just behind the Danglers. members. So yeah, this could be a really good weekend for them with the right play. If they can take this map 4-0, they can even that score up and tie it 8-8. They're going to lose barely anything at all. Spoils, so as I say that, picks off UC Death. Kev picks up Spoils right away. It's now the only two members left are on the objective.
Reses are available, but neither of those reses are going to happen because Kush and Killingers are tucked in. Killinger doesn't find Stragic on the back end. Stragic actually has started to do a pretty well key to his playstyle. He's getting aggressive, even with the sniper.
Problem is though, with that 12x, he's now in the CQC battles. It's going to be tough for him to get those picks. Cushberry's going off, however. He's basically annihilated their south push. Dr. Killinger takes out Strayjack. RPT's going to push up. Is Cushberry's going to see him in time?
If he doesn't have the pad out, he'll hear the pad come out.
He will. Also, Dr. Killinger rotating around. RPT picks up Cushberry. Killinger picks up RPT, and Beginners barely save their defensive round. Wow. A lot of action there in the last 30 to 45 seconds of that round. That was amazing.
Yeah, I thought Silent Purge had that one buttoned up. They were looking to be in a very good way. 4v2, I think they were going into that. 3v2, maybe? Yep. No, it was 4v2, right?
Yeah, it was 4v2. Possibly even, no, it was 4v2 because Smoils did get a pick. Kev then refragged him. And then Cushberries ends up picking up 2. Killinger picks up Strayjack in the north, and then yeah, he picks up the final kill on RPT. So that was an amazing clutch defense there from Beginners, and an amazing push overall from Silent Purge.
This series has been quite a treat. I wasn't really expecting this to be so close. We were kind of talking off air earlier, and I was really expecting Beginners to run away with it. They did take Bazaar pretty handily, but even then, we still had some close rounds on Bazaar.
Yeah, that's very true. I don't know. Silent Purge, they just got to figure out a way to see it through. I mean, I don't really know how to put this. I mean, basically, their attacks go very well about 75%, 80% of the way through execution. But at the end, the Beginners just seem to be able to dismantle it and just kind of take out the foundation, and the rest just kind of crumbles underneath it. And I'm not sure how they can really work on that, you know, other than just putting in more time, but they're doing very well against the #1 team, so there's really nothing you can say about it, because I think that against any other teams, these strategies, these tactics may actually prove very effective.
Very astute observations as we hop into our third round of the third map.
Whoosh.
Really nicely timed.
I try.
You're lucky I did it. I haven't been doing it the whole stream, and then you just guessed I would do it that one time.
Well, because normally when you do it, you announce it.
Okay. All right, well.
So when I heard you announce it, I'm like, maybe I can get it.
Either way, Buxton has gotten his positions set up. Strajak managed to get his smoke out into that corner, and he's tucked in. Silent Purge await the attack of Beginners.
Psst, Buxton, be careful right there. Don't want to do what Sleepy did and fall asleep on the objective. Just a tip. See ya.
Oh, thank God, Sleepy's finally gone and I'm alone.
Does anyone have eyes on far north?
Just JK, just JK. It's going to be a little bit of time here before I think we see any action. The rotation happening around that south side. Beginners sort of poking and prodding up into the middle, but the kill box has been set up, and it's not one that's going to be looking for early picks.
No, it's not. And this is, you know, this is how you take down giants on this map. I mean, realistically, if you've got the defensive advantage here, it's how you take down anybody. Just a tight kill box defense, and unless somebody's asleep on the job, you pretty much have it locked down. But you know, and you never know. Things do happen. A lot of stuff changes. Things go bad. Someone frags himself. Someone's looking down at their tablet while someone pushes across. a lot of things could happen, but yeah, this is typically the way you bring down a giant in this map in particular. Just play a very tight angle defense, watching every possible approach to the objective.
I see Woods, because of this tight defense, is able to get up into a relatively forward position. If you can kind of crash in on Strazak, get a hard, aggressive pick. Ooh, we'll have to deal with Buxton first as he's trying to grab him on the corner.
Yes, Buxton Water says, no thank you, you are going thirsty today.
You know what I mean?
Woods and Strazak, yeah. He has to have heard the comms from Woods there.
Upstairs.
Bit of a waste of a frag. I think maybe he thought that he was pushing around the outside of the building going for the approach, but you know, better safe than sorry.
A couple of shots coming out from the guys as they make their approach south. Interestingly enough, the position of Smoils does intrigue me. He's sort of coming up right in the middle. He's looking for Buxton in that two-story. Buxton trying to answer back with some shots of his own. Neither one landing.
Well, so the problem with where Buxton is, or where Smoils is that this wall, these rocks, unfortunately have a hitbox that are a little bit bigger than what you physically see in the world. So a lot of Smoils shots are probably hitting the wall more than actually going through and hitting any defender's positions. I actually really like to take this route myself sometimes when playing Downfall because it's very unnoticed for the most part, and with that Marsoc camo, it can take the defenders a while to find you, unless of course they're seeing your muzzle flash. But yeah, unfortunately that hitbox on those rocks has gotten me killed more often than not.
Woods just barely misses some shots there onto Buxton to that window. Finally secures Buxton. That's a big pick. Now it's up to basically RPT to defend. And Strazak, the nade just doesn't go over the wall. Woods will be safe. RPT goes down. Silent Purge are losing their defense.
Yep, Strazak is going to be their last line of defense on the front side where this objective is located, but Icy Woods is going to really make that tough for him because he just put out a few smokes and beginners are beginning to crash in. Icy Woods is going to make it. No, Strazak able to see him before he gets into the smoke. Stopping that push. Dr. Killinger takes down UC Death. The back side of the objective is now open. If Dr. Killinger or Cushberries get inside, this can be over.
Strazak, the last remaining member of Silent Purge. Smoils dialed in on him. Beginners go up 2-1.
And Beginners getting that advantageous Marsoc round. Now all they have to do is kick back on their heels and wait for the defense to work itself out.
I feel like Beginners are playing a little bit faster than I'm normally used to seeing them play. You know, they're not really burning out their time entirely. They're still playing patiently, but they're moving up a little bit faster early and then slowing it down.
Yeah. Well, ever since their debut at the first LAN in Leicester, they did make a lot of changes to their playstyle. They found that the super slow, always slow method was not working against the aggressive playstyles of the US teams that they fought in Leicester. So I think they took that information, they went back to their drawing board, and they've created a kind of hybrid. Now granted, they still play it very slowly in terms of map time. However, they utilize their time to gain real estate on the map in the early minutes and then get in position, and then they attack at the very end like they used to do. So they've done a great job adapting their playstyle to work better against these teams. But, you know, it's just that dedication that they're putting in that's getting them everything. And Icy Woods able to pick Buxton up with a nice headshot right out of the spawn. Silent Purge already down a man going into this fourth round.
Yeah, they tried to pick off Killinger as he made his cross, and Woods seized that opportunity. A good headshot will instantly down you, so no res available there. Strazak getting picked up. He's also instantly secured. Not looking good for Silent Purge as they're sort of stuck here at the spawn. Wow, Woods the madman finds Kev inside the bungalow.
This is just
Possibly
terrible,
down in the
unfortunately,
northeast bungalow.
for Silent Purge. They have already been picked 3 deep right out of the spawn. Just, I mean, a minute, not even hitting the clock yet. And now UC Death and RPT going to have to just do whatever they can to either get themselves close or just try and pull out whatever savior of a map they can.
They got time. Oh no, Woods again finds a 4th.
Northeast bungalow.
So man on fire. He also knows where RPT is. He just called out East Bungalow. He knows where he is. And this is insane. I see Woods just clutching this defensive round for beginners.
I think the Woods brothers may be the ones that secure themselves this map, since Woods 43 is dialed in onto the last remaining member of Silent Purge. RPT, if he tries to cross or peek at all, he's going to be in trouble. That smoke from RPT not going to do much of anything. RPT and Woods 43 now trading shots.
East red truck outside.
Super exposed as he pushes up. All Woods has to do is peek up and get him. Killinger instead finds the shots. Beginners go up 3-1 now. I heard in the comms there, because we have that bug, Silent Purge talking that they want to try and grab themselves at least another round. So now is their chance as they go into Volk. They can pick up this one. They can lighten that MMR blow like we've been talking about.
That's it. They also, I mean, who knows, depending on where the objective and the spawn goes, when they're starting on a Marsoc, they could get this defensive round and come back with a cap and win the map still, but it's looking very unlikely as beginners have tightened the reins on their defense here.
Their offense has been looking good too. They've definitely been stepping it up. They have this quick spawn, so we'll see what they do with it.
They're all teleporting for me. Once more. They're all teleporting. Whole team teleporting.
Hey Woods. Go. You're a champion.
Watch for them going to Marsoc, yo, South Marsoc and North Marsoc.
Wow, lots of early shots, and Woods does find an early out-of-place rotation from Strayjack, getting a little aggressive at that Humvee.
I mean, the Woods brothers are champions of beginners' downfall plans right now. They have single-handedly kind of brought this team back from the grave here. Granted, actually, Cushberry and Killinger did a fantastic job with that clutch defense in round 2. But man, the Woods brothers just on fire with these long-range shots here in these last couple rounds.
Yeah, Buxton really in a bit of a tough spot here. Stuck inside trying to blind fire towards that middle hotel.
I keep hearing, as I'm in close proximity to beginners, Beta 5. I'm very interested to know what that means. I have a feeling it's their way of informing their teammates how many of their friendlies are up. But man, these guys they're on point. I love the dedication and the time these guys have put in, because
Yeah, well, once you take that top spot, you kind of have to ramp it up a little bit, and I think they did, since taking it, have sort of even stepped their game up more. I'd also like to note that Buxton has no scope here on his LMG, running iron sights.
When you're shooting that many bullets, you don't need to know where they're going. Just point in a direction and pull the trigger. think you see Death here needs to be careful. That rotation back up to the north rocks ridgeline is going to be a dangerous one. Any one of these guys look in that direction, they might be able to see him as he tries to peek and get some picks of his own.
Icy Woods is also looking up there. And now you see Death getting fully suppressed. Tried to find some shots into that middle hotel, but nothing landed.
Well, I will say one thing. The Silent Purge defense is doing one thing and one thing effectively, and that is preventing them from getting anywhere, really, on this push. They've had to send their guys, they've had to kind of pull their guys back and move them around to the northern side in order to make any sort of real estate progress here. And so, Buxton's... Ooh, and a risky push up the hill from UC Death. That guy is a madman taking these risks like that.
Wants to get inside there. There's another behind him as well. I believe it's Kev who's on that hill trying to find some action. First in all sorts of trading. I think Buxton is out of ammo. He's just pistol firing now.
Yeah, so while the defense has done a great job at keeping their enemies suppressed, it has unfortunately led to the demise of Buxton's ammo. And no, maybe he does have some more. He's got his LMG back out.
So maybe he's saving it then.
Saving it for a special occasion. RBT picking up a crucial first pick for Silent Purge, getting Woods 43 off the rooftop.
Cushberry's looking for that refrag onto the window. Buxton almost finds him on the wall. Cushberry's backs off. Killinger also trying to find some picks. These guys are hungry to get these guys down that are on objective.
Yeah, as they should be. I mean, this definitely, once those two guys go down, the rest of Silent Purge may be a little bit too far off.
Oh no, it's early.
Beginners can get themselves into a more advantageous position to strike from. Because right now, that center hotel, the push to them is about as long as the distance from the push from the North Ridge there, as you see Kev sitting right on top. But Kev also has a great vantage point from up there to the outside of the building, so he can kind of watch that approach if they try and get in and maybe sneak underneath the windows and get the cap that way.
Bunch of smokes coming out. Woods covered in them, finds UC Death. Really nice shots. Not looking good as he gets real close to objective. If he goes pad out and prone, he might be able to cap here. Yeah, they don't.
He's got pad out already. He's crouching. He's already past the windows. None of them are any of the wiser. I see Woods here. Gonna end this one with a cap. We're gonna see 5-1 here to beginners.
Yeah, that is not gonna be what Silent Purge want for sure.
Oh.
They wanted to take that round and potentially lighten the blow, but beginners say no thank you. We want all of our MMR. They grabbed that final map 5-1.
Impressive play there from them. I think the distraction from all the deaths, as well as the more suppressive fire and even vicious suppressive fire, gave Dr. Killinger all the sound masking he needed to really be able to get in there under their noses and get that cap. I mean, there's no way they could have heard him approaching with all that fire just pinging off the rocks around them,
Absolutely, and quite a performance from beginners. The reigning champs proving that, yeah, they're still, it wasn't a fluke. 13-5 is our total score on the day, and not really quite reflective of how close the series felt.
No, I do think that the series felt a lot closer than what that score shows, but that is the curse of Onward. Sometimes you can have just a bloody knockdown, drag out bloodfest, and it just not show on the scoreboard. It could look like a total washout.
I think that's going to be it from us today, though. I don't know if there's any more casts. Maybe there's some casts later in the afternoon from yourself. Potentially, I'm not sure there. But keep your eyes peeled on the stream. Hit that follow button if you're new around here. Hit that sub button if you got your Twitch Prime sub available. Support the VR Master League and us. Sleepy, that's all I have for today. Do you have any final thoughts?
Nope. Just thank everybody as usual for tuning in. We appreciate you guys showing your love and coming out and watching the streams. depending on if I can get my up deck working appropriately, I will be trying to bring everyone the G-Men Globochem match later on tonight. But if not, I do apologize in advance. But if anything, I'll try and make up for it by picking up a cast tomorrow with good old NightFiree with 2 E's.
Yeah, it has been a fun one. That is it from us here at the VR Master League. Thank you guys for tuning in. Everyone, good evening, good afternoon, good night. We'll see you later, maybe. Who knows? Stay tuned. We're out.